All right, let's first introduce the notation that is used to understand which are the parts of the cube. So it will be important for later. It will be required for you to solve the cube and also to understand a little bit better the false shuffles, or if you want to write down your own false shuffles. So this idea is that the cube first is a good thing to keep the cube in the same orientation when you are solving it. In this case, we are going to use the typical thing, which is putting the white side pointing downwards. So with this configuration, you will have this top layer that stands for U, up. This is up, U. This is D, down. This is R, right. This is L, left. This is F, front. And this is B, back. Okay? That's the way to refer to the cube. So when you see a notation written and you see an U, it means you turn the U part clockwise. Okay? If you see a U with an apostrophe, it means that you have to turn it counterclockwise. Same thing, R clockwise, R apostrophe, counterclockwise. Left, this is clockwise. Imagine that you have a clock on each side. This is counterclockwise, this is clockwise, and this is counterclockwise. Okay? Same thing here, clockwise, counterclockwise. So this will give you an idea of each of the parts of the cube. Another thing I want you to consider is obvious, but is worth mentioning, is that the cube has 3 different types of squares. First, you have 6 in the middle of each cube, in the middle of each side, each color. These sides are stationary, they won't move. They will only rotate, but the orange will always be opposite to the red one, the blue, opposite to the green one, and the yellow. So these really you don't have to take care about them because they won't move, but you will use them as reference, okay? The other type of squares are this one, that has 2 sides. These ones are in these places, okay? And then there's the squares, there's 3 sizes to it. Both these squares with 2 sizes and with 3 sizes, they can move all along and rotate, and that's the one you will have to take into account. So this is basically the first approach to a Rubik's Cube and his morphology, all right? Let's go for the next one. All right, let's approach the idea of false shuffle applied to a Rubik's Cube. So as in a deck of cards, a false shuffle is something that you do and you undo it to restore the original order. So in the most simplistic way, you will do something like this and then undo it. Of course, this doesn't fool anybody because it's very obvious what you're doing. But as we are going to complicate the pattern with more than one move, you will also have to take into account that you can undo things in a Rubik's Cube in a different kind of ways. Because if you do like this, and rotate the cube, and you do like this, you also undo it, okay? Also, if you do like this, and you rotate it, you can also undo it by doing 3 on the other side, okay? It's more simple if you see 2 here, then 2 here, will undo it. This is very, very simple, but you will see if you don't have a order Rubik's Cube, it will just produce some kind of illusion that you are okay, and this is same order, just did this same thing. So I will just ask you to do this kind of thing to get used of this idea. Of course, you will complicate this and incorporate more moves. Like for instance, this. You see? The one that I used is the one that I came up with containing 3 moves. And as I rotate the cube, you will also use either both the right and the left hand. So the illusion is a little bit better, is this. Okay, I will do it slow. You see? let's see how this works. There's a much better illusion with this one. You will think that I'm doing something. I finished. I can begin anywhere I like. So this remains unchanged. Okay, just one last thing, very slow. All right. There is another false shuffle that I use. It belongs to Karl-Heinz, and I use it in combination with this shuffle move that I just showed you. Karl-Heinz shuffle is very, very good. It works like this. It is his idea. Do it again. So you see how the cube rotates in several ways. You will see the illusion is very, very good. So this, in combination with the one that I just showed you, the one that I came up with, it really provides the illusion that I really am scrambling this thing a lot. So very briefly, the way Karl-Heinz shuffle works is this, 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 and this. Okay? So you undo what you do first. This middle thing, you will undo it last. You do this, you undo these two moves, and you undo the first move. Very, very clever shuffle. I think it's one of the best shuffles designed for this element. So that's the idea of false shuffling with a Rubik's Cube. All right, let's explain the patterns of 4 and 5 moves that I use to accomplish this routine. They are basically inspired in the work of Usui Takami's, that he just really produced them out of nowhere. It's important for you to take into account the orientation of the cube, otherwise the cubes won't match. What I typically use is I have the yellow side facing me and the green on my left side. So what you're going to do is this pattern is 4 moves. We're going to be alternating in this side and this side. Okay, I will do it. It is 1, 1, 2 from the and 2 like this. So this is a pattern that I can control because it looks a lot of mix. Of course, I can undo this doing all those moves in reverse. To do it in reverse, I have to switch over the cube and do the thing backwards. I started with 1, 1, 2, 2. I have to do 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay? So this is a skill that you have to develop. Okay? Doing your move, 1, 2, 2, 2. Turn this over. This is your cheat. This is the very recognizable pattern, and this is 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay, so that's basically it. You will have to do this in the routine quite fast, so you will have to repeat it just a lot of times. Okay, that's the 4 pattern move. But as I said, I use a 5 pattern move, as a 5 move pattern, because with just 4, the cube is not that scrambled. If I want to sell a coincidence effect, maybe you will catch some pattern to it. So what I do is this pattern. I'm going to add another move. I thought of different things, but I thought in the end that this was the best thing. So I do 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1 extra. Okay? So I'm in this position, and what I will use later on is this thing as reference, okay? And this looks very similar to my reference point. I know that if I do like this, I have this configuration, and I can go and do this thing back. So these are the things you have to use. 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. This is you're going to do first, and later on, turn it back. One comment. At a moment in the routine, when I'm supposedly preparing the daffodil for the spectator, the flower, I'm going to do this same pattern. But of course, I will only use one-handed patterns when I do it secretly. When I do this openly, I will do like this. I will do 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, using both hands, and I will continue doing false shuffles, okay, these kind of things. But you won't do it one-handed when you're doing visibly. You remember this is the same idea. So This is the idea of 4 move patterns and 5 move patterns that you're going to use throughout the routine. All right, let's explain the 2 cubes display when at the moment in the routine when I have this 5 move pattern. First, I'm going to reproduce for you this pattern. Remember, yellow, green on the left side, and I do 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. This is in the proper order. And now with this one, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay. In the routine, I arrive to this situation as you've seen. Okay. So the idea is I'm going to display the 6 sides of the cube, taking into account that they will have to match. And at the end, at the very end, I will undo 1 move. I will undo a move, so I will be only 4 moves away from the complete order. So what I'm going to find here is my reference is the orange middle dot, this square. And I'm going to put the 2 orange facing at the same place. Okay, this is a good first display for several things, because it's the one that I need, because I'm going to undo the move at the end, and because also good because this is very easy recognizable side, because there's some kind of pattern, this square, and it will help you. First, I'm going to do with both cubes at the same time, so you can see what I do. Then I'm going to do it just separately. All right, let's go for it. The spectator is going to see this one, but I'm going to see as a performer this one. Okay, you're focusing on this. So I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mind my position of the fingers, because now I'm going to undo 1 move. So I leave the cubes in the table like so. As you see, they are only 4 moves away from the complete order. This is what I'm going to do inside of the cylinder. Okay, let me do it again, but separately, because you will have to rehearse this separately, otherwise you will really not get it. So I put the cubes in pattern again. You see, so in my right hand, this is the grip. So you use this part of the video to rehearse the right hand. Follow with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. More important thing, I'm breaking my wrist here, is this ring finger will be able to do this. Okay, you see? So when I'm displaying this side for the spectators, as I'm going putting down this, I will do this. All right, this is already 4 moves away. On the other hand, I have to do something different because it is not symmetrical. It goes like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now it's not going to be the ring finger, it's going to be the index finger. It's not going to move 1, but 2 layers. It goes like this. And I'm not going to drop it like this, I'm going to drop it like this, because my reference point, as you see, is this white square with the yellow lines, okay? This is the proper way to do the 2 cubes display that we'll use in the routine. Well, let's discuss now this secret change of cubes that I'm going to do at a moment in the routine. So I give the impression to the spectators that this spectator with me shuffled both cubes, okay? It is such a delicate moment, but it's also a moment that I'm very proud of, because by using a very bold move and by using psychology, that means that I'm not going to say explicitly this thing that shuffle this cube and that shuffle this other cube. That won't work. But the spectator will arrive to that idea because he will progress in time and he will have that understanding. So I'm going to use not something very sophisticated technically, but psychologically, and using how memory works actually. I think is good, and I'm very proud, even though, I mean, it's delicate and we're walking a thin line, because if you doubt or you do say something you're not supposed to say, you will encounter problems. But using this is what allows me to solve the routine with just 2 cubes and without no other means, as a third cube or as a cell or other devices to change the cube. So I'm going to explain roughly how this works. So this is the moment the spectator is for real shuffling his cube on my right side, and I'm using my cube and I'm putting it into pattern and false shuffling. I'm going to keep it like this so you are going to see how this thing works. So what I'm going to do is take this cube with my right hand and I'm going to drop the right hand in my down, okay? So, and I will ask the spectator his cube. He will give me, and as I do like this and I say, fantastic, say something, addressing like, you did a great job, I apparently put his cube. So I'm holding like this, it will be something if I do something like this, similar to a top chains with cards, okay? So I'm going to repeat it again. I go like this, I'm faking that I'm trying to do the flower, like I'm preparing something cute for you. Okay, what do you have for me? It will provide me. I stop here for a second and I said, oh, that's great, fantastic. You did a great job, but let me finish my thing, and I continue doing the flower thing. That is also the relevance of the daffodil, the flower part in the routine. So, of course, this is the cube that I have control of. Now, this is which is scrambled. I do the flower, but it doesn't matter. He's going to destroy it. Remember, when I give it to him and I said, shuffle this as well. This is the only thing that I do to imply a little bit that thing, but it's just very tiny. Another thing that is going to work in our favor to the spectator understand that he kind of shuffled those two cubes, or that maybe that he doesn't even question that. That would be a more precise way to put it. Is when I use the spectator choice, because when I do the spectator choice, we have two cubes apparently scrambled. Only one will be scrambled. So for the spectator, he's going to select any one that they like, and so it will be just forgotten. Also, is psychologically, when I solve the Rubik's Cube, the spectator doesn't understand that what I'm actually doing is grabbing control of one of the cubes. So there's a double purpose to this thing of me solving the cube, which is on its own a very interesting feat. And I think also it's a good thing in a Rubik's Cube routine to have a segment where you for real shuffle the Rubik's Cube. For several reasons, because by solving it for real, people will understand how difficult is this, and it's nothing that you just can do in 2 seconds, but it's something that you end up doing secretly. So that was the thinking behind these secret chains, okay? Remember, something like so, and just be confident about it and try it. It will work, I promise.